Spain, folks, looks like Spain are going to be out of a Rugby World Cup for the second time on the trot, having fielded an ineligible player in the Rugby Europe Championship. It's a competition I don't follow that much, but I certainly keep an eye on it. And when Spain finally qualified for the World Cup, it was fantastic news, right? As I said, I don't follow the competition, but Georgia finished first on 20. Spain did really well to finish second on 17 points. Romania were just behind on 14. Portugal were on 12. And then the Netherlands were towards the bottom on like 4 points. And then the Russians were obviously, with the whole Ukraine thing, their games were like annulled or something like that. So, yeah, really good campaign from Spain to qualify second. But they are now going to lose 10 points, which is going to drop them from second to just above the Netherlands at the bottom of the log. So Romania and Portugal are going to leapfrog Spain into the important spots, because that'll mean Romania gets the automatic qualification into the World Cup to play the likes of South Africa and Ireland and Scotland. And Portugal will take Romania's spot in the repechage. Spain will be out. How did all this happen? Well, they fielded a prop, South African born, by the name of Gavin van Berg. And apparently there were some anomalies with his passport, which were forged at the time to make him seem like he qualified, but he had not done his full residential time. I think from my cursory reading of it, it was because he went back to South Africa during the pandemic, or earlier in the pandemic, and hadn't quite done his full time to qualify, which means he was ineligible to play. And the brutal part is, the 2 games he played in, because it's 5 points deducted for each appearance he made 2 appearances, and both were against the Netherlands, who are kind of the whipping boys of this competition. Like, ultimately, he didn't need to play. It's not like he was a key player in a key must-win game. I think they won like 40-something nil or something when it was in Madrid. Like, ultimately, totally unnecessary. It seems like he was cleared at the time to play by the Spanish Rugby Union, and I think even by World Rugby, but not knowing that the passport had issues with it. So on further investigation, I think on appeal from the Romanians, they've determined that indeed he is not eligible. So it's a 10-point deduction, and it's down below Romania and Portugal for Spain. So it's absolutely brutal news for the Spanish. However, there's a big caveat here, and that it is still subject to appeal. I wouldn't imagine there's a great chance of success for the appeal, because remember, this happened in 2019 for the World Cup in Japan. So the same thing happened, and I can't see a change of circumstances for the Spanish. They've said it's pretty harsh. It is pretty harsh, but I mean, ultimately, you got to get the paperwork right, man. If you're not sure, you certainly don't play a guy against the Netherlands. But it's absolutely brutal for the Spanish players, who this would have been like the pinnacle of their career, right? And some of these guys may never get another chance to qualify for a Rugby World Cup. So, yeah, it's absolutely brutal for Spanish rugby. I mean, it's good news for Romania, because they get a crack, or they're gonna get in, and a good chance for Portugal in the repechage to see if they can put their hands up. But yeah, it's just ultimately a bit of a farcical one. But as I said, it's not the first time this has happened, and it seems to be more prevalent at the Tier 2 level. But anyway, we will see what comes of it. I do feel for the Spanish fans, man. It's not their fault for the players. But yeah, this kind of situation shouldn't be happening. You guys let me know your thoughts. Can you see Spain pulling out a rabbit from the hat with an appeal, or do you think this is pretty much set in stone? And yeah, we'll see what Romania and Portugal can do if they are indeed given the chance. But anyway, you guys let me know your thoughts, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.